news,
Yeah, the good
good
news.
is that Brown is using 2.5 and 10. The bad news is I'm down thousands of dollars. But it's not as bad as it was at intermission, bro. Intermission, I was down like 6 buy-ins. It's not good, but we came back a little bit. I think the end of the day I was down like 2.2. I'm feeling good, man. Feeling like I played really well. And let's go over some hands.
Yeah, I don't have a huge amount of time. What I'll do, I've
Yeah,
looked at the
sorry about
hands
the
that you
wait,
send
by
me.
the way.
That's fine. I've looked at the hands that you send me. I'll rerun the small blind open sim, so that you'll have slightly more accuracy against the exact sizes that he was using. I mean, we got pretty close,
Mhm.
uh, but just the ISO versus limp, he sized a little bit down compared to the 7x that we were expecting.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
sorry. So I'll rerun that one overnight for a quick update. Well, overnight for you for a quick update. Um, and then I'll run it in more detail on another computer and should get even more accuracy later in the day, later in the week. So I'll go with this really quick. All right. This one, not sure about the turn call. You have to look that one up. River seems all right.
I so that was
Next on that standard. So yeah, just unlucky run to aces, pocket nines. Yeah, so here, this I'm not sure what the size should be, but probably maybe a bit bigger.
so actually can
This is
I
okay.
share my
Yep,
screen real quick?
yep.
Oh, you share my screen real quick.
Uh, Hang on, let me stop sharing mine. Okay, yeah, share your screen.
I'll just four. So this was what the graph looked like. So I was down like 6 buy-ins at the low point over 6. Came back up above 3. The first little bit of this was kind of a nightmare. But I think I played pretty well overall. But yeah, that's just like the snapshot that I wanted to give you of the session. I probably could have just sent that to you through a message, but we can go back to looking at the hands. Or we can look at them here and we can look at all the hands here.
Now I'll just look at the hands that you sent me.
Okay.
Hang on, let me share my screen. Uh, so yeah, ace queen versus ace, that's fine. This pocket nines, maybe you want to look at when we rerun the sim, but
So I looked at it in
yeah,
GTO
it's
Wizard.
probably fine. This one, yeah, I'm not too sure about this flop raise. It's probably okay-ish, but there's a lot of other hands you should be doing that with. Queen seven, this is fine. You just got unlucky there running into quads. 5-8.
Bro, real
Yeah,
quick
that was interesting.
caveat.
Yep.
The quads hands and the aces hands both got max slow rolled. It was rough. It was rough out here for you, boy.
Right. Um, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about that. If you're slow rolling or not slow rolling, just don't
Yeah,
worry too much
I
about
thought it
it.
was kind of funny, but
This one is probably a fold pre-flop.
I think it's a mix. I think it's a
Yeah,
mix.
I think it probably is a mix, but yeah, I would, yeah, okay. If it's a mix, it's a mix. Um, this one is definitely a fold pre-flop, even against 5BB rather than 7BB. It's
Yeah,
definitely a fold.
I wasn't sure about that one. I wasn't sure about that one. I figured you might have something to say to me about that one. Didn't feel great, but yeah. After the pre-flop,
The way that you
probably like
play it,
a
the way that you played it seemed okay-ish. I mean, probably just call the bet. I don't really know what you're trying to rep too much by raising there. Um,
well, it was a high SBR limp ISO, so it was like pretty high SBR. So I figured that even in position, having some raises
no,
is
it's
probably
100 BB, 100 BB.
yeah. It's 100 BB. But there's still like a lot. There's still like a pretty high SBR.
Yeah,
And
okay. Yeah, you
you only
probably
bet
didn't
like
use the
quarter
best
on
one, so
flop.
that's fine.
If
Yeah,
if he like potted the flop, I wouldn't have raises, but since he only bet 1/4, I think having raises is kind of important.
Yeah, that seems fine. I mean, a lot of the time when you make these raises, like you can check back the turn with a bluff,
Mhm.
just to realize. But I mean, the hand should just fold a preflop. This one, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. I mean, most of it, okay. It just looks like variance right now. I mean, 500 hands in heads up is not a significant amount.
Mhm.
The other thing that maybe we want to look at is potentially if you're interested in changing your 3-bet sizes even further, because if we know that he's only going for the 5x, sorry, the 5 BB, sorry, 2.5 BB open size, so the $5 open size, then
Mhm.
it probably makes even more sense to increase your 3-bet size against that because his range is too merged.
But
I'll let you think about that overnight.
the
Sorry,
sim
say
we
again.
ran maximally exploit the 2.5x because that was the only option we gave it, right? So it should take into account the fact that his range is
We gave it a 12 BB 3-bet size and a 9 BB 3-bet size. So it should
Oh,
maximize the EV against the 2.5 open size, given those two 3-bet sizes. But if we instead of 12, we look at 13, right? That might be slightly better.
mm.
It's something for you to think
Oh,
about if you're keen on studying slightly bigger 3-bet sizes.
I don't think so. So it took like a week and a half to memorize because I have the pre-flop strategies, both the open strategy and the 3-bet strategy memorized to like a 10% mark. So like if something is like 78% 3-bet and a 22% call, I'll have it in my brain as like, you know, an 80% 3-bet and a 20% call. But I was able to like memorize everything like to the 10th percent. Um, and so that took a while. I don't know how quickly we would be able to basically insert a new strategy. I don't know how fast I would be able to learn it, like on the fly. But like honestly, I feel pretty good. Like
All right. Well,
she has
if you're feeling okay with the 12 BB 3-bet size, then we'll stick with that. I
okay.
mean, 12 BB is probably pretty close to optimal anyway. I was just um wondering if you wanted to try something bigger
Yeah.
to get
So
them further
also,
out of book.
two things here. I looked at the Queen 10 hand and the Pocket Nines hand during the intermission, and the Queen 10 calls like 45% of the time on the turn, and the Pocket Nines, the Pocket Nines and GTO Wizard pure shoves pre-flop. But if you do call it, like there's like a 2% call. But if you do call it, it pure shoves the flop. So I think it was fine. I
Yeah,
can
that's probably okay. Um,
look at it in our uh, ranges real quick. So it was a limp 3-bet, 4-bet. Um,
yeah, so it's limp raise, and then you went to 24, so 12 BB, which is probably okayish. And then he goes to 56. That's the issues. Like usually you want to size it so that you can't do that so easily. As in put you in a position where you've got 3/4 of the stack left behind.
yeah, I didn't love the situation. But I figured it was fine to call since I was in position and a low SPR. You know, like if I get a bad flop, I'll just fold on Ace Queen 10.
No, yeah, I mean, what you did was fine, and the way you played it on the flop was totally correct. So that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. I'll just rerun the sim. It'll probably the open sim. It'll probably mean that you limp a little bit less,
Okay.
because it lets him ISO you a bit more. But besides, yeah, it will mean that you limp a little bit less, and you're probably folding slightly more, just because his ISO size versus your limp is closer to optimal. I mean, you should be splitting, but in order to get near optimal.
Yeah, he didn't use any
Otherwise,
size
I
at all.
wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, look, if he's not splitting, then don't worry too much. Okay, and so am I still sharing my screen? No. So there's two things that you can do in Monka. So here with these ones where it says dash dash flop, basically it's already solved all the flops for you. So say this is you in the big blind,
Mhm.
and you call and you want a quick estimate of what the flop strategy is. It'll have the flop strategy, right? Check.
Yeah. So is there
That.
like some sort of way you can put this into Munker Viewer and like see it in terms of just like a hand matrix, or is this it?
No, you just click on the thing at the top, and that's all you can see. Strategy range. I don't think there's any way to view it. Yeah, Monka Solver has a pretty shit viewer.
Mhm.
So this will tell you. This will give you the overall flop
Okay. Great.
ideas to a pretty decent accuracy. So you can probably use the P64 P8L8,
That's
or
just
the
like
other
the
one.
number of nodes. Like P64 is like 64 nodes.
Yeah, so 64 buckets on the flop, and then 8 and 8 mean that um it chunks down
Like
on the turn of the river, so the strategy becomes less splitty, so it splits a lot less on the turn
okay,
of the
so
river.
it's just like the fewer buckets, the more abstract.
Yeah. So the fewer buckets are less splitting it there is, and the more buckets, the more splitting there is. So if you
Okay.
think you guys are doing a lot of splitting um
Mhm.
on the turns and the rivers, then use the L8. Sorry, use the P64 L32 L16 instead. So there's two options there for you to take a look at. Right.
Solid.
And this will just give you a quick look at the flop strategy. So you can use it to take a look at like check raises and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, or just flop C bets. All right. Any last minute questions before I go? Oh yeah. And
Uh,
the other thing that you can do is that so you should already have 2 point whatever. You can also use it as a trainer. So you can click on it and then click train, and
oh,
a trainer will pop up. Uh, Pretty sure eventually.
okay. Well, that's popping up. I'm gonna look for more hands.
So yeah, it pops up here,
There we
and
go.
then basically you can play against it up until it runs out of information, right?
Yeah.
So say for example you do that, it's incorrect. It'll show immediately what it was and how much EV that you lose. So this is in milli small blinds, right? And it'll just stop every time that you make a mistake, right? So there against this donk,
Do you
quality is
have
correct.
like 10 or 15 more minutes to go over all the 3-bet and 4-bet pots that we played?
No, sorry.
Okay. That's fine.
All right, I'll call you. We'll do another call in 23 hours. So you try to come off at the end of the sessions, and we'll do the calls after each one.
All right.
Um, and I'll send you the updated calculation uh in about 12 hours. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right. See you tomorrow. Bye.